Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to All About Racing. And we're here for the ninth round of the season, week 9, of course, with Division 2 yesterday as well. We were in Las Vegas yesterday, but Austria, the Red Bull Ring, tonight for DTS Senna with all the lovely custom cars and liveries. So, as I said, the Red Bull Ring, 4.318 kilometres and 2.6 miles in length. There'll be 35 laps to race around here after the 18-minute qualifying session, 10 corners around the circuit, 3 to the left and 7 to the right. 3 DRS zones on this circuit, and your best overtaking spot is up the hill at turn 3. The C5 soft, C4 medium and C3 hard tyres are the tyres used for this event, and Plevance is leading the Drivers' Championship on 356 points, 300 points for Intronsic, 262 points for Zoltan, Scotty on 227 and 213 for Arman. Pigeon is in 6th, 7th Mikey, 8th is Brash, 9th is Bab, and eGolf is in 10th. The constructors, 394 points for Los Hermanos. Pro Gen are on 388. And we've lost our Stomper, Salvarex on 373. Lotus in 4th, 5th, Project 20. Racing Knights in 6th, Brunetti in 7th, 8th is Ski Sports. GT Golf is in 9th, and Breakfast Blitz still down in last place on 179 points. So the driver is just starting to come out. It's a short lap around this place. As we're watching Scotty at the moment. As he makes his way to start his first lap. So Scotty coming up towards turn 3, taking the corner rather nicely there. DRS will be open for him as he goes up and over the crest and down the back straight towards turn 4, Schloss Goal. So here comes Scotty up to the line. We'll get the track map up, and it's a 104.5. We should see the 103s. So Bassoon as well, he's just finished a lap. Good time for him initially. Others on a lap. Rumsky coming out of the final corner now. He goes second fastest. Pigeon was right behind as well. He goes third fastest. So, he's on a lap here, championship leader, just completing his first lap. It gets into the 103, Zoltan as well, into those 103s as well. Maybe a 103.5 is a realistic time for pole position, and Tronzik invalidated a lap. He actually got a car up ahead of him. He's invalidated out the final corner, so subsequently invalidated the next lap as well. Anyway, actually on a legitimate lap, Mikey GTI. He's on the lap at the moment. His first initial lap, it's a 15.9 in the first sector. Pretty average of the 9 drivers who've set a lap so far. 28.8, that was a very, very good lap in the middle sector, and Tronzik has invalidated, so his lap isn't going to count as he dives into the pits and keeps to the right of the pit lane entry as Rocky comes around the final corner. He goes 6th fastest, it's a 104.6 for him. It's better, has invalidated the lap and goes again. Destructive J going slowly is Hayes just about to finish his initial lap. 9th fastest for the breakfast blitz driver. Speckbell comes to the line. It's 4th fastest for him. It's a pretty decent time. The Plevin so has purple sectors for all 3 as it stands. Zoltan has gone red on his lap as well, so that one will not count. Minimalist coming out of turn 3. Helpful toe on the exit of the corner. Is down in the first sector, runs slightly wide out of Soshgold as well. Into Rouge corner. Just keeps it on the track, just coming out of Worth curve and coming into turn 9. Joachim Renton just slamming on the brakes to take the pit lane entry. His baton goes off onto the MotoGP variation of the Red Bull Ring. And Brashman in the Brunetti Motorsports car, trying to get a decent lap in. Dark Stomper as well was on a lap previously. So he's in the pits at the moment, and Brashman comes into the pits also. So Zoltan seems to be on the lap at the moment, just down in the first sector from the previous attempt. It was a 15.8 in that first sector. And just coming out of Worth curve. and towards Jochen Rindt, and just keeps the car on the road and then dives into the pits at the very last second at the latest opportunity. And Transit looking like they're on a lap this time around. It is a personal best first sector, but hasn't set a lap so far. Beton as well, setting a green first sector. And he is right up ahead. Will this cause some dirty air problems in the mid corner? Maybe touch the gravel there. Both two personal best middle sectors. It did come up purple on the track map for N-Transit, but that did tell a little lie. As to the final corner, is it going to be a big old toe up towards the line from Beton as he invalidates actually N-Transit once again, and Beton only does a 105.6. And there was, as you could see, a bit of aggressive driving there from N-Transit. That was not great. I don't think N-Transit realised that Beton was on the lap. Still got plenty of time to go. But N-Transit hasn't got the fuel on board to be able to go again. So Destructive J needs to put in a much better lap time. The lap time so far has not been ideal, to say the least. Magnetic as well will have to improve as the prevalence improves into the low 103s now, ducking underneath a 103.5, quite a long way away from anyone else. Hasn't had the best of qualifying performances in the last couple of weeks. As we come towards the line with just over 5 seconds to go, another invalidation in that final corner. It's been happening so often. As Jack saying in the comments, it's going to be an ego retire time. As you're watching Scotty, who has improved in the first sector. Zoltan's got the purple first sector as it stands at the moment. As the Racing Knights car comes then towards Jochen Rindt and into that final corner. Red Bull Mobile, where a lot of drivers have validated. Scotty hasn't, and he's improved in both sectors, improved in all three, and takes him third fastest, over half a second faster than his previous outing. And with 4 minutes left on the clock, should just have enough time to get back to the pits. So Zoltan out on the racetrack for one last time. Some drivers out earlier than I would have expected, and not trying to get towards the checkered flag. With a minute or less to go. Maybe some have fueled up for 2 laps. Magnetic just coming to the end of sector 2 and is well down and is going slowly, and just to try and charge up the battery as much as possible. Intronsic struggled in qualifying, felt like he was held up by Besson, who's down in 16th with a 105.6. Dark Stomper still yet to set a time as Intronsic comes into the pits, and I think that will be the end of qualifying for them. I don't see them having enough time to get back out again. Besson pretty much crashes into the pits. Hayes is down in the first sector, and there we go. There's the ego retirement that Jack called in the chat. We go down into Schlossgold. Hayes tentative on the throttle. Oh yeah, of course we can get Dark Stomper back off. Sorry, should have sent him an invite. Just didn't think about it. Apologies, Stomper, if you're watching this afterwards. So Hayes actually backing out of the lap. Grashman just started what looks to be his final lap. But is a bit low on battery, so maybe actually just waiting as Hayes retires from the session. Might be 15th, might be lower. Is Stomper going to be able to get it out in time? To get a lap on the board. And we're not actually sure which team he's actually driving for. I'm not sure if he's been able to get his livery sorted. Scotty comes up the hill. For his final run. Zoltan isn't going to be able to improve either, so, or improve more than he has. Did get down to a 103.5, so close to the Plevants. Is Scotty going to be able to get himself into the 103s? Is up in the first sector. I tell you who is going quickly though. It's Rumsky up to the line now. Goes 4th fastest. It's a 104.1. He had a super quick first sector. Scotty coming up towards the line now, and the checker flag is out, and we're going to wait for the next car that should be a Sauber after that. Scotty stays where he is. He was just a smidge up on his time before, and we're waiting to see. Can't be Scotty. It is a white car. It did say it was a white car. Who's up to the line? Not sure. Bassoon is not going to be able to get to the line as the checker flag came out quite a few moments ago. We're watching Armand, who is improving in the middle sector. Will he improve in the final and move up some places? He certainly will. It's a 104.1 again for another driver. 4th fastest for him in qualifying may start on that second row as Besson comes in and sits in 6th place. The track ramped up right at the very end of proceedings. Is Milanis going to be able to really produce a lap? It only moves up a couple of places and wasn't able to gain the time from the track ramping up at the very end. That's the end of qualifying. The Plevant takes it by just over a tenth of a second. So the Plevant, as I said, takes pole position. Sultan in second, Scotty's third and fourth. Armin, Rumsky in fifth, sixth is Baton, Brashman seventh, eighth is Entronsic, Mikey ninth, 10th Pigeon, 11th Specbalg, Magnetic 12th, 13th Milanis, 14th Bassoon, Kingy in 15th, 16th Hayes, Disrupted J in 17th. Dark Stomper was the only one not to set a lap, and we'll be back in just a second for the start of the formation lap. I'm not entirely sure what's happened there. We had a start and quite a few drivers didn't pull off from the line, and we've had 6 drivers who have not been able to do the formation lap. So I'm not sure who that is out in front. It's Intronsic, who went ahead. I've actually never seen anything like this. So mediums and hards throughout, majority mediums, 5 drivers on the hard tyre. So very odd, maybe an early start to the formation lap. And I have a feeling, yeah, so you might not have the right emblem. So, just quickly, so I think the formation lap started earlier than people thought it should. and then people didn't get off the line because they wanted to wait a bit longer, and they got disqualified on the grid for not moving away, and then everyone else did, so everyone didn't get disqualified. But the top 5 have put themselves in a very uncomfortable position. Brashman and Transit might make up a few places here, they can get themselves sorted on the grid nicely. So we will try and get to the top in just a second as we wait for Dark Stomper to line up on the back row in the Sauber. So the Plevents on pole, Zoltan alongside, 5 red lights and foot flat to the floor here in Austria, and the Plevents gets a good launch. His Zoltan keeps his second place position, but will have to defend into turn 1. It's Scotty keeps that second place. Brashman moves up a position here, up 2 places in fact, and Baton staying in 5th place. Then in Transit, Mikey, GCI, Armin, Specbow and Milanis as Bassoon makes up a place there as well, and then Zoltan going for the overtake here. The driver 3rd place in the championship against the championship leader as we go down into Specbound corner, and the Plevents tries to hold on and does so for the moment around the outside of Specbound through turn 5 and into Roche corner, turn 6. Down the hill we go into the technical section of the Red Bull Ring and into Waltz Curve, and still the Plevents leads the race. The top 3 unchanged as of right now, and Brashman in 4th and Baton down in 5th place, staying where he is from the start. We start lap 2 of 36, and the Plevents of course takes the fastest lap. DRS is enabled as well, and Zoltan will get it up the hill here towards turn 3, Remus corner. Already a move been made, I think, by Intronsic as those two fight it out as we move our way up the hill. And on the inside is Brashman in the Brunetti Motorsports car, and the Los Hermanos driver trying to hold on the outside using the traction of the racing line out of turn 3. Is Pigeon moves up a place as well on Bassoon, and the Ski Sports car trying to have a pop on the outside, but the door is slammed shut, and Brashman gets back past once again. So a lot of drivers taking that fastest lap one by one, with the DRS activation of course helping them along and improving their lap time. In Transit here driving angry from qualifying and making up another position. That's 2 places from the start so far. He's into 5th is the Plevents and Zoltan, and Scotty now trying to get involved with a move as we go down the hill towards Soshgold corner once again, and Zoltan moves to the inside and seizes the opportunity once again. The Lotus driver holds on around the outside of the corner, armoured in the Project 20 car, getting past the Sauber X car of Mikey GTI, and they're switching from 8th to 7th. As we start the next lap. And coming up the hill, on board with Zoltan. Is he going to go for the move into turn 3 here? Thinks about it and lifts off. And the Plevents getting very good traction out the corner, but here comes Scotty on the inside. A bit of a lock up there from the Racing Knights driver, but doesn't go into the back of Zoltan. Here's Magnetic to think about it. A couple of drivers going quite wise. Down to that final corner. Sorry, I got distracted there because my controller's lighting up purple, not green for some reason, like it's green flag. That's strange. Into turn 3. The Pleasant getting very good exits out of turn 3. Zoltan does close up with the DRS, obviously, down the hill towards Schlossgold, but it's never ever close enough to really properly challenge for the position. And then there's a big old snap there from Zoltan and lost ground. And that could be crucial. Could leave the door open for Scotty. Up the hill towards turn 3, Remos. And here's a move for you, and Trontic going way too deep and actually going off the track, and would really have to concede the position, does it anyway. That move certainly wasn't done right and proper, and it leaves the opportunity for Armin to think about it as well, as Pigeon's getting very close to Milanis into Schlossgold corner, and he makes up a place as well, moves himself into 10th and back to his original starting position. The top 3 still stay where they are. The Plevents now 1.5 seconds almost, getting up there towards in the lead and out of that DRS train. So is Scotty, his baton is a bit further back, and Zoltan under threat, and Tronzik getting the move done much earlier on than he did before. Is Scotty going to get an overtake here down towards Schlossgold? Got a much better exit than Zoltan as well. The door's left open for the inside, so steps straight through it. And is let past. Spasson getting past Magnetic. Maybe he actually went off the road there. So, is Zoltan going to have a pop back at the Racing Knights driver up the hill? To the top of the hill and steady on the brakes as we go up and over the crest once again. And he moves to the inside and takes the place. And I'm sure these two will be fighting out for a while as the Plevents as we have a yellow flag in the first sector. Not too sure who that was for. It might have been for Kingy in the GT Golf car. He's had a bit of an incident at turn 3, Remos at the top of the hill. As here goes Entronzik into the pits quite early on the medium tyres, so obviously a high deg circuit. To use the softest range in the Pirelli compound around the Red Bull ring. Up the hill we go. riding on board with Pigeon. Oh, slight bit of contact with Spec Balg ahead. Slots back behind. DTS open once again. Might actually see a move from Brashman into turn 4. Gets that overtake done. So 2 of the top 3 into the pits early on. The Plevents on the mediums as well, of course. Pretty comfortably a 2-stop here. I don't think anyone will be able to get through on a 1-stop, as Zoltan does come out ahead of Intronsic, but has been able to get a nice healthy undercut and get involved in this top 3 fight. 2nd place in the championship. Has to get a very good result here today. So the Plevent stays out for another lap. His last lap was a 1:08, and we'll see what Scotty can do on this lap. It's switching places right now as we go up the hill. Scotty, Zoltan trying to get past Hayes, who has yet to pit. Scotty gets past, so does Zoltan. And Intronsic though, held up and needs to stay with them. And they're just hoping to get some of that time back to the Plevents. Who's staying out again. And they've still got very good pace. Here comes Mikey GCI into the pits now on lap 12, just going a little later than some others. And some really are firmly committing to the 1-stop. To the 2-stop, should I say, rather than the 1-stop. Scotty taking the fastest lap into 1:07.2, and the Plevents are 1:09. So almost 2 seconds a lap faster for Scotty and Zoltan as well. Very, very close together in terms of their lap times. So we'll certainly be closing that gap to the Plevents. As he comes up to the pit entry, stays out once again. Is he thinking about doing the 1-stop? I'd say that's brave. This is now going to release Zoltan and Scotty, who are on the chase of the Plevents. The gap between them now down to almost 16.5 seconds. Is the Plevent staying out, hoping for a safety car? So still putting some decent lap times in. And the Plevins is now into the pits. And what tyres will he go on to? And there is a bit of a delay, but he has come out of the pits. Speeding in the pit lane for Speckbalg is Zoltan and Scotty going through, and then Tronzik as well will go past the Plevins. I do think he was trying to commit to the one stop. Scotty though getting past Magnetic as well and trying to stay with Zoltan, who now are 1-2 as it stands legitimately after the pit stops, and the Plevins will have a big tyre advantage. So pretty much everyone on the hard tyres, all retiree that's in the pits, so nothing to worry about there. That would have been a gut wrenching for the Plevins if you just stayed out for one more lap. Yeah, Danny, I think I have sort of thought this as well. Is it a bit early for a one stop? But it seems a bit late for a two stop as well. So I'm not sure, unless he maybe he's going to the softs to the end. But pretty much everyone on the hard tyres. We are seeing two drivers pit as we speak, and mediums going on. I'm sure both of them will put the medium tyres on. So the Plevins not making much ground at the moment. And Tronzik with 3 seconds worth of penalties. We'll put them up properly later on. 6 seconds for Brashman, 6 seconds for Basson. Rumsky on 3 seconds as well. And Speckbalg has himself a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Getting close now to the halfway point. It is an interesting call, but maybe the Plevins know something we don't. His tyres are now coming up to temperature, and you can see that in the lap times. But he isn't able to get inside the DRS windows. Now, boys, calm down. The Plevins now just creeping with inside the 1 second window, and there's a big battle going on in the real solid part of the midfield. Look at all these cars, a big train of cars all in that DRS zone. As Bassoon's holding on rather nicely. As we go up the hill, watching the Plevins getting closer to Tronzik. And we'll keep an eye on this battle as well. Is Pigeon getting past Bassoon? Will he get DRS as well? Will Bassoon get it back? He does. As we come down towards Schlossgold, out of Remos corner. Others as well. Beton going for a place on the ski sports car. Rumsky. Will we see an overtake from the Plevents this time around? As we make our way up the hill, closing in. The DRS very effective when you're going uphill as steep as you are there. We're getting good traction out of the corner at turn 3, to be precise, earlier on in the race as we get to the halfway point of this race. And Intronsic defending beautifully into Sloshgold. 3 wise here is Dark Stomper making up for place. First time he spoke about him today. He's trying to get himself up into the top 10. His Spec Valve moves up on Rumpsky as well. It's all happening with overtakes really in the midfield. So as we're now on to lap 19. The Plevents close, so is Scotty. Don't think he'll get himself close enough yet. And Specvalg and Dark Stomper have switched places again. 6 drivers, as I said, on those on penalties at the moment. That black and white box next to their name. So, when will we see the second round of pit stops? Probably in about 5 laps time, 4 or 5 laps time. Maybe onto, well, more than likely onto another set of medium tyres. The Plevents this time very, very close to Intronsic, who's doing a stellar job of holding him up, as he did go longer into the stint. You read my mind, Donny. You read my mind indeed. Hold on a minute. Maybe hearing us on the stream here as he goes to try and make a lovely move on the outside. Oh, turn 6 at Roche. Is he going to have a pop here at the next corner? Is Intronsic going into the pits? No, just defending into that corner is Intronsic, saving the battery to deploy on the straights to defend, but at the louder curve, the Plevents trying to get the place done. They don't come together, but he does lose a bit of momentum. Is he going to go for it now? He certainly is. Up into Remos, and he's on the outside, and it's very tight between them. Maybe just left enough room as he squeezes him right to the outside of the corner. Is there going hammering tongs here as we go down to Schlossgold, and then a big lock up from Intronsic trying to go for a desperate late lunge, and now the Plevents has got the move, but is he going to be able to get away from Intronsic? Zoltan and Scotty 3.5 seconds up the road, and they're getting close to their final pit stop, where they were a bit more conventional, I think, in terms of when they pit in their first pit stop, and then Zoltan now pitting for his final stop. And what's he going to go on to here? Is it another set of hards? Or it is another set of hard tyres to the end. So they're going for it again. Intronsic and the Plevents won't even give me a minute to have a drink. And the Plevent stays where he is. And where has Zoltan come out? Right in the middle of that traffic. Danny doing my job beautifully, and then Zoltan desperately trying to get past Speckball. Really has put himself in an awful position in terms of where the traffic lies, and then Intronsic is around. And has he come together with the Plevents? The championship rivals were fighting it out over position, and the Plevents and Intronsic may have come together. Maybe Intronsic has lost it all on his own. We didn't see it, unfortunately, but that may put a big dent in his championship hopes. But that might go to the stewards. Oh, thanks for that. So, no contact at all. Obviously, anyone here reading the chat, they'll know that. As Scotty and Speckball switch places there, they are teammates, so maybe that was done intentionally. Scotty's still held up in this traffic as well, but that isn't going to deter him as he goes around the outside of Roche Corner. Lovely stuff from him, and straight back onto his rival again as the Plevents is back out into the race lead again, but surely can't go to the end. These two again will be going very quickly now, and the Plevents out of sync. Is Scotty thinking about it here? Knows this is where they are. Here is the net race lead. They've cleared the traffic. They've got a pigeon between them and the Plevents, and they can't see the Plevents going all the way to the end. Unless he's going to go to the softs to the end, but it's the softest compounds we use here. So you'd think they'd run out very, very quickly indeed. Just over 10 laps to go. So the gap between them on the road, Scotty's only 13 seconds behind the Plevents. So is he not? I don't see him having another choice than really just trying to either hope that, we'll talk about it in a minute, Zoltan and Scotty caught up to Pigeon very, very quickly. I just don't know what the Plevents is going to do unless he is going a bit longer trying to clear the traffic. But I think he's going to come out around where Magnetic is when he pits now. And Intronsic still in this race, and look at this, 4 cars fighting for those last points positions, and Intronsic moving up on Hayes as well, and then Milanist gets through at the same time. Intronsic moves up into 15th and has got Rumsky ahead of him for a few more points, for a bit of damage limitation. He must be so frustrated with that. Not sure where the Plevents is actually going to come though. If he doesn't pit in the next lap or two, I don't see the advantage of going this long onto softs. I've been thinking about it, but we're on the softest compound, so it doesn't make a huge amount of sense in my book. And oh, here we go. Overtakes and contacts are plenty here at the Turn 4 Spec Balg. And Armin going up the inside at Roche Corner. And through he goes. And this realistically could be the fight for the final podium place as the Plevin stays out again. And I think it was, I can't remember if it was Danny or Jack who said it, but I think it was Danny saying about they have to gain a second a lap, and they're doing that at the moment, and they're going to do it comfortably, I think, right, towards the end. We'll see. We'll see if the Plevin stays out. As I said, if he doesn't come in this lap or the next. It's still a long way to go, though. Still a long way to go. And Zoltan has lost a lot of time now as well. And Scotty has a very good chance of getting a win here. Had 4 podiums this season so far, but no wins just yet. Best finishes have been thirds. All podium places have been third places so far this season. And the third place in Kota, third place in Saudi Arabia, third place in Sao Paulo, and a third place last week as well. Where were we last week? You have to look back here. Bear with me a second. I have to cross. Sorry, it was Miami earlier on. It was Kota last week, wasn't it? Of course, yeah. I thought I would get myself confused. Basson and Pigeon getting past him into the top 8 positions. I just cannot see how the Plevins is going to hold on to this now. Scotty's going to get to a point very, very soon where he's going to be able to see him. We'll keep an eye on the times. Only a couple of tenths faster in that first sector. We'll keep a proper eye though throughout the sectors for the next couple of laps. It is coming down. I really sort of, for the entertainment spectacle now, I really kind of hope the Plevin stays out and tries to hold on to the end. I'd love to know what state these tyres are in. I'd love to know. So in the middle sector, it was 8 tenths faster in the middle 6 tenths faster in the middle sector. And then in the final, he was 5 tenths faster again. So, yeah, it's going to be close. I think it may come down to the wire here if the Plevins can hold on. But I think that was his plan all along. But it will be close. And remember, it's all well and good saying, a second. But he still has to get past as well. And sometimes here it's very easy, but if you can place your car in the right places, it's not so easy. As Brashman getting past Beton and then really getting the move done out of the corner. Start stomping out, got himself in the top 10. Got a chance to get himself 8th place from 18th. That's a very, very strong finish from the Brit. Scotty now got it down under 7 seconds. This is going to be close, guys. Unless the tyres go on that Lotus, this is going to go down to the absolute wire. It's still consistent. Danny being a little team race engineer here and giving us a countdown every lap. The sector time is consistent. Scotty was 2 tenths faster in that first sector. And there you go for your penalties. And wow, 12 seconds for both Rumsky and Basson, 10 seconds for Speckberg. And Zoltan not done very well either. But the times still coming down, but they are starting to slow. It's starting to curve off now. Five laps to go. Has to be over a second a lap now. And I'm not sure if he's going to get there. Is the one stop really going to do it here with the softest compounds of tyre? This will be a hell of a drive from the Plevents, and we were criticising, me and in the chat, that this was the wrong decision, but we shall see was said, and we are seeing that the one stop could well be very much possible, but will those tyres hold on to the end? He's been on those tyres for a long time, and gents, you're going to want to see, aren't you? 18 laps on those hard tyres and still going to get it to about 23 laps. Is that possible on a C3? Is that possible? That's a lot of laps. Another chunk of time taken out, and Scotty really needs to put the hammer down now and use that 9-lap tyre advantage. And push all the way to the end. And as Danny's pointing out in the chat, it's not going to be good enough at the moment. This was the Plevents' only hope. I think he realised that after he came out so far behind, and track position was key, and it still has been key. It is getting agonisingly close now. So, 3 laps to go now. And still wouldn't get it, even if the Plevents got a 3-second time penalty as it stands. And as I said, if we ride on board up and over the hill, and actually ride on board with the Plevents for half a lap, get his telemetry up, just see what he's doing with the acceleration. Just coaching, isn't it, to the end. I'm amazed he's been able to hold on to these for as long as he has. I'd love to be able to see. His telemetry isn't up, so I'm not actually able to see what state his tyres are in. So now down to just under 4 seconds, but I just don't think we're going to see that big of an improvement now. And this, as I said, is going to be an absolutely outstanding drive from the Plevant. He looks like he's going to get it done unless he gets a tyre failure right at the very end. But he can somewhat relax a little bit on the last lap. He's got 3.5 seconds in hand and knows he won't have to push anywhere near as much and can deploy that battery as Besson getting past Speckbalg, and then Mikey GCI going the long way round here on the penultimate lap. And we saw the tyres earlier on, get them back up, 22 laps, so 23 laps in the end for the Plevants. Once we get there. I was 10 laps older than Scotty's, and I'm amazed he wasn't able to gain more than he did. Dark stomping out, moving his way up into 9th as Speckbalg comes into the pits on the last lap for some reason. So it wasn't good enough for Scotty. The only driver, one of two, the driver leading the championship at the moment, may be able to take it next week. He wins in Spielberg and takes the win in the Austrian Grand Prix, takes maximum points here today. Was on pole as well, hasn't been able to take the fastest lap. Scotty comes home in a valiant second place, 2.5 seconds back, but the Plevants taking the win with that one-stop strategy. I think we've got to give him driver of the day for that strategy call as well, because that was absolutely fantastic as Brashman and Bassoon and Mikey GCI moves up a position, and Bassoon moving down quite a few places after receiving all the penalties. But the Plevants, it looked a little sketchy towards the middle part of the race. Maybe in hindsight he would have done a few more laps on those medium tyres. So the Plevants takes a fantastic win, and Scotty finishes on the podium in second place, Armand in third, Zoltan finished fourth, Brashman was fifth, sixth was Mike GTI, Midlam was seventh, eighth was Dark Stomper, Bassoon ninth, 10th was Magnetic, 11th Intronsic, Pigeon was 12th, 13th was Destructive J, Beton was 14th, 15th was Rumsky, 16th was Hayes. Speckbalg finished in 17th after pitting on the final lap, and Kingy was the only driver not to finish the race. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm sure most of you have already. If you haven't subscribed, we were only 3 away at the start of the stream. I'll check afterwards to 500. So if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be fantastic. We won't be back, of course, till next week now on Tuesday with F1 Power Grid once again. So until then, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock for Champions Division 2. As always, and we're going to Qatar for next week's race, and it will be Belgium next week for DTS. So until then, thanks very much, and keep liking the videos and subscribing to the channel, and thanks for all the support. Until then, see you next time.